Diagnose the network system problem. In Diagnose the network system problem, the main network type used in most households is TCP or IP, or what we call the Transmission Control Protocol or the Internet Protocol. This TCP or IP is the standard protocol used on the Internet. So, in Diagnose the network system problem, first we have the features. Features. TCP or IP networks work by assigning each computer or network item an address called an IP or Internet Protocol address. In features, each computer or network item an address called IP or Internet Protocol. So here, it is formed by 4 numbers separated by dots. For example, typical home network computer might have an address of 192.168.1.1. So, 4 numbers siya separated by dots. So, next we have connecting to the world. Your home network is connected to the internet by means of a modem or broadband connection that comes from your cable or phone company. So dito kasi, in a wireless network, a wireless router is plugged into the broadband connection box and it provides wireless connection for the entire house. So next we have troubleshooting. When you experience network problems, your connection to the outside world is the first place that you want to start. So in troubleshooting, when you are experiencing a network problem, the first thing you should do is to turn your modem off. Modem is a short term for modulator and demodulator. Yan yung hardware component na nag-aalaw sa computer or another device such as router or yung switch para mag-connect sa internet. So after you turn your modem off, wait a few seconds and then turn it back on. This reboots modem and resets it. By doing this, you can solve many network problems. So next we have wired networks. If you are running a wired network, one of the first things you want to do is to check the network cables. Yes, so if you are experiencing running a wired network, first thing you want to check is the network cables. Naka-plug in ba siya, or maybe the indicator lights where the cable plug into the computer is king. So if you're done checking it, tapos hindi naman pala, it means that you've got a faulty wire. Then next we have wireless networks. Troubleshooting wireless networks is a bit trickier. Yes, in wireless networks or Wi-Fi, the troubleshooting wireless networks is a bit trickier. Kaya make sure that your computers can see the wireless router that they are connecting. So if they can see already the router but can't connect, the only problem here is the password. Kaya make sure that the password at the router is the same as the one for all the wireless machines that are connecting. The password kasi is very important na mag-match. Otherwise, the connection won't work. So next, I will be discussing about the network interface card or NIC settings. A network interface card provides the computer with a dedicated, full-time connection to a network. Personal computers and workstations on a local area network or LAN typically contain a network interface card, specifically designed for LAN transmission technology. So first is that select network configuration. Select network configuration whether it is the network bridge configuration or local area connection. Then next, click the interface you want to configure and then click configure. Click the interface you want to configure, but in the selecting, you must select the primary or secondary service processor. Then click continue. And that's the time you select the network interface that you want to configure. Then next, select the advanced tab. After selecting it, the next one is in the link speed drop-down list, select auto negotiate if you want the XTM device to select the best network speed. XTM or extensible thread management, pwede rin you will select one of the half duplex or full duplex speeds that you know is compatible with your other network equipment. Then the next one is auto negotiate is the default setting. It is strongly recommended that you do not change this setting unless instructed to do by the technical support. And if you already set the link speed manually and other devices on your network, do not support the speed you select kasi magkakause ito that di niya i-allow yung XTM device interface na mag-reconnect after the failover. Then the next is that in the maximum unit or MTU text box, specify the maximum packet size in bytes that can be sent through the interface. Here, it is also recommended that you use the default 1500 bytes unless your network equipment requires a different package size. Then lastly is that to change the MAC address of the external interface, select the Override MAC address. Checkbox and type the new MAC address. So, MAC address or Media Access Control is a hardware identification number that unique identifier assigned to a network interface. Controller for use as a network address in communications within a network segment. And then yung MAC address pala or Media Access Control is makikita yung sa baba ng router. Then after that, click OK. So this is the example picture of Media Access Control na makikita sa baba ng router. So yan na yung MAC ID, no? So naka-box na red. So MAC address are physically attached to a hardware device. And then, for you to be able to understand about the network interface card settings, I have here a video presentation.
Checking out the settings app, we are going to look at the adapter settings and options that are available through the network and internet. We're talking here about your Ethernet or Wi-Fi card that is in your computer. So go into the settings by either going to the bottom right, all settings, or to the left at start menu and the settings gear. Here you will go into network and internet. So in the status page, one of the options that is available is change adapter options. What does that mean? Well, the adapter is that physical device that connects your computer to the internet or the network. It could be a Wi-Fi device, it could be an Ethernet device, but it is what makes that link and the internet or the network. Now, you can change options of this Wi-Fi or Ethernet adapter because there's a lot of things you can do. Sometimes some connections require specific needs, specific settings to actually work. And when that actually happens, is that you have to go and change or know where to change some of these settings. So some of them are done here. There's also the status of your connectivity that is also visible here. Once you click, well, what you have is all your devices that exist in your computer. Some are virtual, like the ones that you see here on the middle. And you've got the Ethernet, which has a little red X, tells me it's not connected because I don't use wire. And I got Wi-Fi on the right side. This is the one that is being used right now and connected. When you double click on this, you will have the Wi-Fi status page, but you'll have also all sorts of details. One is the speed, quality of connection, and so on, how long you've been actually connected, and give you if you have internet access or not. You have, of course, more details by clicking details. It gives you the different gateways and the IP address that you're using, depending on what you're using, including the type of device you're using. And of course you have the wireless properties, which give you the type of connectivity that you have, including your security access, what type of security you are using. When you have that, you have advanced settings that also gives you one last option, which is the FIPS, or Federal Information Processing Standard Compliance. This is used usually more in an enterprise setting than anything else. At the bottom, you will have the number of bytes sent and received by your computer. And of course, you also have the different properties of the adapter itself that you can actually add. So there are protocols, there are features that can be removed or added to your networking device depending on what you have and what you do. And when you actually have put a check mark, you actually install a protocol or a new feature to your device. Then you've got sharing on the right side, and you can actually allow the other networks to share this connection. This is an old standard, an old way of sharing that is now today not really useful, but in some cases it could work and be interesting to have. You can disable the device, and of course Diagnose will give you a set of diagnosis of problems that you might have with your device by itself. That's what you have when you actually click here. Here it brings you to the control panel. This is where you see control panel has options that settings doesn't have, and so on. So these are things that of course are interesting. You get a back and forth between the control panel and the settings. So change adapter options is where you can change some of the settings. Sometimes you might have, or you might be told to change options, to change settings, especially if you connect to a work network. Sometimes you need to go in these little places. Enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.